I am not sure about your names. Tina.
Okay.
Okay, you are.
I'm Tina Hanlon. I teach English at Ferrum College.
Ah, okay. So you seem to be knowing what's going on tonight. You kind of set the scene and introduce people. And how does this business relate to Ferrum College exactly? We did a storytelling workshop tonight.
Right. Well, it relates to Ferrum College because, well, for this project, Ferrum College got the grant. I mostly wrote the grant with help from a bunch of people. So we have a grant from the Council of Independent Colleges to do this project. But the reason we proposed a project on this topic of folktales is that we have a big archive of folklore collected from southwestern Virginia in the mostly 1930s and 40s that we have at the Blue Ridge Institute and Museum, which is part of Ferrum College.
Okay, that's down the same road, just off.
Yeah, it's basically on the campus, but kind of on the edge of the campus. And the Blue Ridge Institute is a small museum and a farm museum. And inside the building, there are many file cabinets full of folklore and recordings of songs and things like that. But we're working with the collection called the James Taylor Adams Collection, which is thousands of pages of folklore that was typed up by folklore collectors in the 1930s and 40s. And Ferrum College is also well known for being the home of the Jacktail Players, which you probably talked to Rex Stevenson about because he started it in 1975. So one of the college students who came tonight was just telling me that since she had grown up in Franklin County and went to Boone's Mill School, that one of her favorite things in school was that Rex and his group of students and colleagues called the Jacktail Players came to her school and performed. So lots of people around here know the folktales because of those performances.
Was that Abigail?
No, Abigail's not from around here originally, but Emma Brubaker was the other student.
Okay, so there were two students who were,
Yeah,
okay.
and Emma Brubaker's family lives here, and her mother and actually is also a graduate of Ferrum who teaches at Ferrum.
And you're putting Abigail to work.
And Abigail is one of the students who works on this project, and she's been working in the archive, starting to digitize the folklore that's in the James Taylor Adams collection.
That's going to take an enormous amount of time, it seems like.
Yeah, this grant is for a one-year project, but really they've barely begun. Another thing I was going to mention to the whole group, and I forgot, is that to extend it a little bit, I got a summer fellowship from the Appalachian College Association, so I'm going to be able to keep Abigail working some during the summer. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to be on campus, though, because she lives in a different county. But if she doesn't work on campus doing the digitizing, then she'll do some work that she could do remotely with my website and so on, and doing some of the research and maybe writing up some things for the archive. But we still have some grant money left, and the BRI employs students throughout the year anyway, so they'll continue to have people work on digitizing this collection. And my summer fellowship was able to include some money that bought them some computers they need, because they needed better computers in order to be able to work with these fragile materials and to be able to do the kind of storage to make it like a stable record that they can then share with the public on the website.
Why is this particular collection so important, do you think?
It's so important because in the 1930s and 40s, it was collected from ordinary people in southwestern Virginia. So it's probably maybe the most important collection of folklore from that time and that place. And a lot of people know the Jacktails and other folk tales of this region from Richard Chase's books that were published in the 1940s, and he was still working in the 50s and beyond. And his books are so famous. And the most famous Appalachian storytellers are from the Hicks Harmon family in Beech Mountain, North Carolina. And they've been nationally, internationally famous. But a lot of people overlook the fact that in the notes in the back of Richard Chase's books, which are still in print and still very well known as collections of folktales, the notes in the back do say that a lot of the people that he got the folktales from are these people in southwestern Virginia too. But a lot of times when you see references to Richard Chase's books, and lots of storytellers and picture book authors and illustrators and folktale collection editors. I mean, lots of people, folklorists, have studied these folktales and, cite Richard Chase as a big influence. But a lot of people overlook the fact that this folklore in southwestern Virginia was his major source as well. So we feel like it's really important that even sometimes if we meet people from Wise, they don't know that this treasure trove of folklore came from their county.
Oh,
So
they don't want it back.
So that's the importance of digitizing it and making it more available to the public.
So it will be once,
Yeah, the
however
idea-
long do you see it as?
Well,
Kind of-
we don't have an idea for how long it's going to take to start putting things online, but the idea is that, a lot of the collection, if not all of it, eventually will be available to the public. Now, there is something called the Digital Library of Appalachia that we work with through the Appalachian College Association, and so the Blue Ridge Institute at Ferrum already has some items available online that way, because it's been around for, I'm not sure, more than 10 years, and it's going to be revised soon too, but it's an association of small colleges in Appalachia, and the Digital Library of Appalachia makes things from the archives of those small colleges available. So you can go to that and anybody can, look up folk tales, jack tales, things from Kentucky, things from Virginia. So we already do have some things online, but this is going to be focusing on, starting with the ballads, the ballad texts, not with the ones that don't have music, but the texts of the ballads, which some of the people at the BRI call it the folk tales in verse of the region. And it's important because it's the folklore taken down directly from the people of Virginia.
Great.